Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabby and today I'm going to be filming my April book haul. Compared to months in the past, I feel like this one is a lot more of a reasonable sized book haul, but I'm really excited to talk to you about these books, so let's just jump right into it. So the first 5 books that I wanted to show you all came from Book of the Month. They actually sponsored one of my videos earlier this month and they sent me all 5 of their selections for the month of April. And I'm so excited about it because Book of the Month is one of my favorite book services in this world. And their 5 book selections this month were really amazing. The first one is The Paris Hours by Alex George. The second one is The Library of Legends by Janny Chang. And then we have Valentine by Elizabeth Wentmore, which this one is like a literary fiction novel that's set in Texas in the 1970s, and this one is one that I still really want to read. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And then we have The Guest List by Lucy Folly, which I did read this month. It's a new favorite. This one's an adult thriller and it takes place on an island during a wedding, and somebody in the wedding gets killed and then we're trying to figure out who did it, and it's just the best. You'll hear about it in my wrap up. And then lastly, Beach Read by Emily Henry, which I also read this month. This one is an adult romance novel and it follows these 2 writers over the summer. And yeah, again, you'll hear about this in my wrap up. Alright, next up, Atria Books sent me an arc of Big Summer by Jennifer Weiner, which I am so excited about this because Jennifer Weiner wrote one of my favorite books last year, Miss Everything, that I really loved, and so I'm very stoked to have this in my hands. I'm actually currently reading this book right now. I'm about 100 pages into it, and this book is this contemporary story about this girl named Daphne who's this Instagram influencer. There's this girl, Drew, from her childhood who was like kind of an asshole to her and was like gaslighting her, manipulating her whole life, and they had a huge falling out in college. But now, 6 years later, Drew is reaching out to her asking her to be a bridesmaid in her wedding because she doesn't have any other friends, and Daphne agrees, our main character. So it's kind of about how they're rekindling their strange toxic friendship, and I love reading books about strange toxic friendships, so I'm here for this. Thank you so much to Atria. And then next I have 6 books from Book Sparks because this year I am an ambassador again for their summer reading camp thing that they're doing this summer again, and I'm so excited to be a part of it once again. So if you want to see like the full lineup of all the books that they're doing for this summer, I'll link it down below for you. But so far they've sent me 6 books. The first one is Of Literature and Lattes, which this one is a contemporary novel. It just says, return to the cozy and delightful town of Winsome, where 2 people discover the grace of letting go and the joy in unexpected change. And then we have Brunch and Other Obligations, which, oh my god, this is my favorite color of navy blue, by the way, and I love the like coffee. So cute. And it's interesting because it follows this group of women. The only thing they have in common is their best friend Molly, and then when Molly dies, she leaves mysterious gifts and cryptic notes for each one of her grieving best friends, along with one final request that these 3 mismatched frenemies have brunch together every month for a year. Huh. That is very interesting. I'm obsessed with this cover though. Obsessed! And then we have You and Me and Us. And this is one that I'm actually really interested in reading too because it follows this family who they find out that the dad in the family has cancer and that he's probably going to be dying. And so they go back to their beach that they used to spend a lot of time at that beach. It's also kind of about her daughter and how she's like coming to terms with like her dad potentially passing away soon. And I don't know, this one sounds really interesting to me. And then we have The Waterkeeper by Charles Martin. And this one is about this man who saves this woman from the dangerous world of modern day slavery. I don't know, it sounds pretty crazy. It says it's a tender love story and heart-rendering search for freedom. And then we have Summer Darlings by Brooke Lee Foster. This one says it's set during the splendid summer days of 1960s Martha's Vineyard. This page-turning debut novel pulls back the curtain on one mysterious and wealthy family as seen through the eyes of their nanny, a college student who, while falling in love on the elegant island, is also forced to reckon with the dark underbelly of privilege. Okay. And then lastly, they also sent Miss Everything by Jennifer Weiner, which I'm so excited to have 2 copies of this book because I'm reading it right now and so far I'm really enjoying it. So I'm very excited that this is a Book Sparks selection for this summer. It's awesome. Alright, next up I received 2 books from Penguin Random House. The first one is The Last Human by Zach Jordan, and this one is described as this like crazy sci-fi space opera but like a comedy kind of book, and it's about this girl who is the last human in the galaxy. And I don't know, it sounds Very strange, very interesting. It is blurbed up here by Andy Weir, which makes me even more curious about it. And then the next one they sent is Precious You, which this one is an adult thriller, and this one sounds very interesting. On the little top blurb here on the inside, it says, an obsessive power struggle turns dangerous in the psychological thriller for fans of Luckiest Girl Alive and You. You by Caroline Kepnes is one of my favorite thrillers of all time, so that automatically has me intrigued. And it's about these two girls who were hired at the same, like, magazine. One of them is an intern, I think, and this girl, Catherine, is the editor-in-chief, and they're kind of, like, fighting, I guess. It says, gripping and provocative, Precious You delivers an unsettling, intriguing take on the contemporary workplace, turning the professional roles women play on their heads in a razor-sharp, revenge-driven thriller for our age. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to read this, and I love this red cover. I love everything about this cover. It looks so cool. All right, next up, Minotaur Books sent me a final copy of Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier, which I'm really excited about this because I did receive an ARC of this book earlier this year. This was actually the first book that I read in 2020, and I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, so I'm glad to own a physical copy of this hardcover now. And if you didn't know, this one is an adult thriller. It follows this girl named Marin. Her child goes missing and has been missing for years, and the police haven't done anything about it, so she hires a private investigator to look into things, and then they find out that her husband is cheating on her, and then the story just kind of really takes off from there. It's just like wild ride of a thriller. And then the last book that I was sent this month is from Berkeley, and they sent The Mother Code by Carol Stevers, and this one goes on sale May 5th. This one is a sci-fi futuristic kind of book that takes place in 2049, and it says what it means to be human and a mother is put to the test in Carol Stevers' debut novel set in a world that is more chilling and precarious than ever. It's talking about the nature of the boundaries between us and the machines we create. I don't read a ton of sci-fi, but I just really want to get more into sci-fi, and this sounds really cool. Next up, my amazing, beautiful friend Jacqueline over from Weeby Bookin' sent me Bunny by Mona Awad. It was so freaking kind, and she sent it because she knew I was kind of like stressed out and having a rough time, so she just like sent it as like a cheer me up, and it definitely cheered me up. And I actually did read this book this month during my video that I did of reading Kayla's favorite books, so I'll link it down below if you missed that. But I'm so glad that she gifted me this book because I ended up really enjoying it. Like, it's a new favorite horror novel for sure. It's one of the strangest books that I've ever read in my whole life, but I loved it so much. And I'm so thankful for friends like Jacqueline. Like, she's literally the sweetest human. And then lastly, the last 3 books in this haul are all books that I bought for myself this month. And all 3 of these were purchased for that recent video I just did of reading 3 hyped horror novels. So the first one I read for that video is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This one was a whole lot of fun. I don't often read books about vampires, so this was definitely an interesting experience. And then I read Nosferatu by Joe Hill, who, yeah, I didn't realize that this is Stephen King's son. Ha! I look like such an idiot after that vlog, but this one is a massive, nearly 700 pages horror novel about this guy who takes children to Christmas land, and he's really creepy and weird. And I read it in that vlog, so I'll link it down below if you missed it. And then the last one is The Troop by Nick Cutter, which this is a 5-star book for me, one of my new favorites, and it's definitely scary and weird, and there's body horror, and it's about these boys who are all scouts that go on this trip on this island, and then this man shows up on the island who is scrawny and hungry, and there's something wrong with him, and it's just so scary. And it's a new favorite book of mine. You'll hear all about this book in my wrap up. Those are all of the books that I hauled in the month of April. I also did receive an e-arc of the book Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. Atria Books sent that arc to me, so I have it on my phone to read. And I'm so freaking excited about that because Lisa Jewell is my queen. She's one of my favorite thriller authors, and I'm just really, like, I'll read anything she writes. I also do have an e-arc of Pretty Things by Janel Brown, so that's another thriller that I'm very excited to get to. Please let me know your thoughts if you've read any of these books. What are your thoughts on them? And thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!